What is up, guys? Sin Priest from Team Sinister here today, bringing you guys my dual wield stamina Templar build. I've been running this build for a week or two, so let's get into it. I love this build. So far, so good. We're going with our character sheet first. We're running 22 points in the health, 42 points in the stamina, giving us 19k max health and 24k max stamina. Be advised, I do have 251 champion points, so your guys' results, if you run this build, may be different. I would suggest putting your points into health until you get 20k. We do have the warrior boon, stage 4 vampire, and we are running blue stamina and health recovery drinks, vet 15 drinks, because the blue gives us more stamina recovery compared to the vet 15 purple. That's why we are running blue. So 24k max stam, 19k max health. There is a way to get 20k health, and I will show you guys how I want to do that later. Right now unbuffed, our weapon damage is at 3110, stamina recovery at 2091. Let me buff up real quick. Our weapon damage is pushing 3604. There is a way we can get to 4000 weapon damage, but I can't get that until later, and I will tell you guys how to do that later on in this build. So these are the raw stats right now with our weapon damage buffed up to 3604. Let's go to our sets. We have 4 pieces of Night Silence, 2 weapons, and 2 pieces on the body, chest and legs of Night Silence. We are running Night Silence for the max stamina recovery. I do want to change this to more cooldown for the weapon damage as the 4th piece instead of weapon crit. Now if you want to run a crit build, you can run Night Silence, switch out the maces for dagger to give you a better crit chance, and put the trait as crit chance as well. Will give you a higher crit to make yourself a crit build. Now that is an option for you, but I am running two-handed maul, so I want to get weapon damage, and I'm not too keen on running a crit build because of all the sorks on console. Now our weapon is the Maul, our back bar two-handed weapon is the Maul of Agility. I do want to change this for a Master two-hander or a Maelstrom two-hander, but I don't have Orsinium. PvE is not my cup of tea, so I will have to resort to getting a more cooled in back bar weapon as well, or a Night Silence if you plan on running a crit build. We are running 5-piece medium Hunding's Rage to give us that extra weapon damage as the 5-piece. Hunding's Rage needs no introduction. Everyone I know and their uncle is running Hunding's Rage on console. So we have the chest is heavy and our legs are heavy on the big piece to give us a better armor rating. All of them are enchanted with max stamina except for the chest. Divines on all pieces except for the chest and the legs. The big pieces have infused for better enchantment, and the small pieces have divines for better weapon damage. Our jewelry is the agility set, running 3-piece agility, 2 robust, 1 arcane. If you want to get the 20k health, which I do, I want to get a healthy agility necklace. If you want higher stamina, you want to get the robust, but I'm aiming for 20k max health, so I would prefer to have a healthy necklace of agility. We are running 2 weapon enchants on 2 rings, well, 1 on each ring, so 2 weapon damage enchants and 1 recovery enchant. I want to switch this to a higher stamina recovery enchant once I get a healthy. And when I get healthy, everything should be falling into place shortly. So that's the gear sets I'm running. 5-piece Hunding's Rage, 4-piece Night Silence. If you have access to someone that can craft 9 traits, I recommend, if you're running the exact build I am, you want to switch the Night Silence to the more cooled in. So you want a more cooled in chest, heavy, more cooled in legs, heavy, infused, 1 healthy, 1 robust, 2 maces, the more cooled in, both sharpened, and enchant both of them. I don't have access to any stones or any enchanters that have stuff for free lying around. But I do want to put a disease enchant on one and a weapon enchant on the other. So that's a heads up on what I want to do. So one weapon enchant and one disease enchant, keep that in mind. So that's the gear sets we are running. Very staple. And we'll go to our skills. And now running into our skills on our dual wield bar, our first ability is quick cloak. We're running quick cloak for the 40% movement speed. It also gives you a little bit more damage over time for the people near you, but we're solely running this for the movement speed. Dragon Knights and Templars like escapes, so you want to run an escape. You can either run rapid maneuvers or run quick cloak. I prefer quick cloak. It's easier and it doesn't pull me out of speed when I get attacked. So quick cloak on the front bar. X is quick cloak. Y, main DPS, no introduction. It's biting jabs, hits hard, grants you crit chance once you cast it. So if you're running a crit build, stacking it with biting jabs will do wonders for you, I'll tell you that. Our B is binding javelin. Templars lack good crowd control, so binding javelin is probably our main source of crowd control. It is a knockdown and it does reach up to 22 meters. It is funny to use. It is fun to use. That's why I run it. You can switch it out for Eclipse, but if it's a structured duel and you're fighting a Sork, you can't run Eclipse. But binding javelin is just fun to use when they're sitting in their minds. It's funny as fuck. So LB is repentance. Very, very important. Every fucking Templar, Stamina Templar should be running repentance on their main bar. Gives you 10% recovery on all resources. That's why I get it. That's why I put it on. So this is another key thing to getting us the stamina regen that we have. And it is a decent heal. The healing is nerfed in PvP, so it's not as good as you would have thought it would be, but it's good enough to have it slotted. You do sap the essence out of the dead corpse around you, so if you're in a group and you guys pass by and wipe out a Zerg, just keep popping repentance. Gets you back some nice stamina and some nice health. Our RB is the main heal of this build, and it is vigor. We have it on our front bar to avoid switching back and forth between bars. So this would heal for 10,500 health if I don't buff up. And if I buff up, I'm pretty sure it'll heal a lot harder. But so realistically, you're healing for about 5k because of the healing nerf in PvP. Our ultimate needs no introduction is Dawnbreaker. We're running Flawless Dawnbreaker solely for the 8% increase in weapon damage. Now it does do an extra 60% damage against vampires, but I rarely use this ultimate. I just have it slotted for the weapon damage, to be honest. So let's go to our back bar. Our first ability is our X ability, which is Executioner. It needs, once again, no introduction. This is our Execute. Hits up to 300% more damage if they're less than 50% health. Great ability, love using it. Purifying Ritual is another key part in this build. It is a great cleanse. It cleanses up to 5 negative effects on you, and it does heal you over time. So stacking this with Rally will do wonders for you. B is Stampede. Now this is our gap closer. You could put on Crit Rush. Crit Rush does hit a lot harder, but I love running Stampede because it snares people, and again, snares are OP in this current meta. So snares, once they are snared, I like to stab them in the back with biting jabs, because biting jabs does hit up to 8 meters, so it is fun as fuck to use. So Stampede is another key part in this build. You can run Crit Rush if you want the extra damage, but I am running Stampede because I love it. Now LB was a variable in this build. You can swap out the LB for whatever you want. You can swap it out for Soul Trap, whatever, Caltrops. You can swap it out for Caltrops, but it's on preference. Do you want to run Caltrops or do you want to run Shuffle? It's all up to you. Stamina Templars, in my opinion, have low survivability in solo PvP, so I prefer to run Shuffle to give me a little bit more sustainability. Is that even a word? To have better sustain. I want better sustain, so I'm gonna run shuffle. Fuck it, right? Gives you a dodge chance, 20% dodge chance for 20 seconds. And while Purifying Ritual may remove snares, same thing with shuffle. Shuffle removes snares, but shuffle grants you immunity. So Purifying Ritual will take away any dots on you, poison dots, flame dots. It'll even stop the ground effects of the Ice Comet or Shooting Star. But Shuffle grants you immunity to snares. So while this one removes snares, so does this one, but this one gives you immunity. So if you're planning on running away, pop Shuffle. They're going to stampede you. They're not going to be able to stop you because you're popping Shuffle. So while you're running away, pop Purifying Ritual, pop some rallies, give you that good heal over time. So man, Purifying Ritual heals you over time, so it's very, very nice to help you sustain. Shuffle, help you sustain. Rally is our buff ability, giving us 20% weapon damage because of the major brutality, but also because it's great because it's a heal over time. Stacking Rally with Purifying Ritual, with Shuffle, and Resolving Vigor grants us a great sustain in outnumbered situations. So this once again needs no introduction. Before you get to any encounter with any baddies, pop Rally, pop Shuffle, and get into the fight. Our ultimate for this bar is Clouding Swarm. Now the reason we are running Clouding Swarm, not because we are a vampire, but we're running it because we want the recovery from vampirism, but we also want the bonus while you are invisible. So Clouding Swarm is the morph that grants you invisibility, and since we are a wood elf, wood elves have the stealthy passive, increased damage done while in stealth by 10%. Now while you pop Clouding Swarm, you will be in stealth, you will be invisible, so that means your biting jabs will be hitting a lot harder. So that is a great reason why we are running Clouding Swarm. Now I am a wood elf, so I do have that passive. If you're a Khajiit, you will have that passive. If not, just have it on for the fucks of it, man. It's great. You can also use that as a defensive tool. Pop Clouding Swarm, and then pop Quick Cloak and get the fuck out of there, man. So all they're gonna be seeing is a fucking swarm of bats trying to run away. That's all you're gonna do. If you're not gonna use it offensively, use it defensively. So clearly and solely up to you. Now we're gonna get into our champion points. Now I have 251 points, I believe. So let's get into it. We're running 32 points into the reduced cost of stamina. So reduce our cost by 8.1. So it's a stamina, kind of like a stamina seducer set. That's why we're running that. We're running 36 points into Mooncalf to give us stamina recovery. Now I can achieve higher, much higher stamina recovery if I take these 16 points out of tumbling and put it into stamina recovery. But since we have very low sustain as a stamina Templar, I'm pumping some points into tumbling to experiment how good does it work. I do not have any add-ons like on the PC, so I have to do this all by eye and all by feel to see if I feel like it's working or if I see that it's working. If not, I can take it out of tumbling, or if you want, take it all out of tumbling and pump it all into Mooncalf to give you that high stamina regen. You can push 2,500 regen as a wood elf. Going to the mage tree, we have none in here. We have all points into the ritual, running 46 points into mighty, 27 into piercing, and 10 into critical damage. Now we don't particularly have a high crit build, but if you are running a crit build, pop some of the precise strikes. 46 into damage, giving me 14.5%, 10% armor ignorance. So we are ignoring a lot of armor. We have the champion tree giving us some armor ignorance, and we have the dual maces, both the sharpened. So we are ignoring a lot of armor. If you come across a Sork and it does not have his shields up, he's in a world of trouble. He's in a world of hate. And if any Sork has no shields up, he's not a good Sork, to be honest. Going into our red tree, the steed, we have 20 into medium armor focus, 27 into spell shield, and 10 into resistant. I want to pump more into resistant to give me that more sustain against people with high crit builds, so I'm planning on popping more into resistant. We are a vampire. I'm running 27 into elemental defender to give me that 10% damage reduction from fire, but you don't see a lot of people running Magicka DKs nowadays because Cypher came out with the stamina DK, so everybody's running stamina DK. No need to explain that. We are running none into this tree, and that's it for the champion tree. So if there is anything else I missed, I think I did miss passives. You want all passives on your skills. You want to make sure you're running get all passives, get all the two-handed passives. Yeah, just get all two-handed passives, get all the dual wield passives, get all the medium passives. You want all the heavy passives except for bracing. Bracing only works if you're running a set of 5 heavy or more. For the vampire passives kick in to give you the recovery. Supernatural recovery gives you max magicka and it gives you magicka and stamina recovery by 10%. This will help you and all the stable Fighters Guild passives. You want Slayer, you want Banish the Wicked. You should have all racial passives maxed out. So that is it for my Stamina Templar build. Once again, these are the stats. 251 champion points. I do plan on getting more, and I do plan on running the more cooldown. So let's see. So let's pop a drink. So stamina recovery is 2091, weapon damage 3110 unbuffed. If you buff up, 3604 and 2091 stamina recovery, you can achieve 4000 weapon damage with more cooldown. I believe you can, and I know you can. So weapon damage, more cooldown, you push about 4k. That's what I'm aiming for. And if you're watching this, if you're not running a crit build, that's what I want you to push for. Stamina recovery, max health will be 20k once I get my hand on a healthy necklace of agility. And another key thing I want to explain in this build real quick is tripods. If you want to sustain in PvP, tripods. Everyone should know that if you're running into PvP, make sure you have tripods. Tripods are the key in any scenario. In duels, you want to have tripods. In open world solo, you want to have tripods. If you're in the group, have tripods. You might not need them as often in a group, but they are key. I'm not grinding for mats or whatever the shit to make the fucking potions, so I'm buying my potions from the fucking crown store. But if you have fucking access to people that can get you tripods, have them hook you up, man. Or if you can hook yourself up with some tripods, man. Tripods will help you a lot. They give you recovery as well. They grant you all three stats, recover all 3 stats, and they give you some recovery. So if I'm in the middle of a fight and I want to buff up, I'm in the middle of a fight, I'm fighting, and I pop a pot, my recovery kicks up to 2368. So that's great in the fight. So pots are a key. So make sure you have tripods. And if there's anything else I missed, I hope it wasn't that important. So if you like this build, please leave a like. If you disliked it, please leave a dislike and a comment on why you did not like it. I hope you guys did enjoy this build. This is Sin Priest from Team Sinister, and I'll catch you guys later.